Right, in this video what we're going to do is I'm going to test this pen press attachment that Seth sent me over. I'll tell you what I think of it. And this should be a bit interesting. I've never had one of these before. I used to use my own homemade pen press, which is there. Right, well, Seth very kindly sent me these over. So we'll have a go with them and see what we think. So we'll be back in a sec. Okay, in this video, it's one that my mammy would have been proud of. It's a waste not, want not video. I happen to be lucky enough to get some olive wood pen blanks from Bethlehem. Needless to say, they got snapped up very quickly. I only actually have 2 of them left. But rather than, because of this, the wood it is, the special kind of wood it is, I didn't want to waste any of it. And what I've done here is, these are the offcuts from the blanks, and I've put them in resin. And basically I'm going to make a click pen out of it. As I said, I just didn't want to waste this stuff, and I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to actually do. So up we go to 2000 revs, which is my preference for pens. And I start cutting. Check that, round it off. Yeah, the grind in this wood is absolutely beautiful. Which will be interesting in this is that the fact they're all offcuts, the grind will keep changing. Now, if you're doing something like this, I've seen them done where people just put the offcuts in and you get flat stripes and stuff. Change it up a bit. Don't just make it flat. Put the pieces in at an angle. It makes for something just a little bit more interesting. I'm a little bit far away there, so as close as I can. Now this resin is actually extra resin. From when I was doing the bog oak chalice, and I actually had these pen blanks sitting in a mould until I was doing resin, because I can never actually calculate resin down to how much exactly I'm going to need. So I will always have some sort of a mould prepared when I'm doing it for putting the extra bits in. Resin is expensive stuff, and you don't you want to be wasting it. I'm trying to go for a true slimline here. The last time I did a video using this pen kit, it was the arthritis pen, and that one I left heavy. This one I want to do a true slimline pen on it, which is the kind that I would normally do on a slimline. A true slimline doesn't really have huge bumps in it. It has little bumps in it. Still a little edge there. Yeah, that's it. Now, for those who are asking how my thumb is, it's nearly done. It's nearly fixed. Now we get a finish cut on this. Can't see them down there. The bump there. Very, very light. Get the bump out of that one. There's a slight bump just there. I don't like. Right. Let me get the sanding that. Start off at 150. Sorry, bump the camera. Now, if you can see, you can actually see where you sanded. Right? See the way there's a little line there, so there's obviously a slight bump there and one there. Well, I would sand them out. It's just a way of, when you're using your first grit of sandpaper, of checking your surface. Right? Right, now I've dropped down to 1000 RPM here. But that is literally just so I can raise those lines so I can see where I still need to sand to get the surface perfectly smooth. If I can, I like to bring the surface of a pen down to the last width with sandpaper rather than with a gouge, because as you know, anybody who's been watching the channel for a while knows I have pretty bad nerve damage due to Lyme disease, and being delicate don't get on because I can't actually feel it, and I can't control my hands properly sometimes, depending on the day. And today, my hands are pretty sore. Now, see the way I still have a line there and there? There's none on that one. So it means there is still a divot in this somewhere. Right. Now I'm moving this pretty fast because I do not want heat to build up. See it there? It's not much of a divot, but it's there. Whereas that one's perfectly smooth. It's something I haven't done in the video before, is actually go through the full finishing process that I use on pens. I was always going to skip over it. But today was probably a bad day to do this video because of the way my hands have decided to be today. But This is also the best therapy I have for when I'm like this. Something like this, small stuff. I couldn't do, I wouldn't be able to do a bowl today at all. Same again with 240. It's also going to be the first time I'm going to try out that 10 press attachment that Seth sent me. $3.20. And 400. Even though I'm going to be using Yorkshire grit on this with a pen, I always go up high in with sanding. We may not be going up to 600 sometimes. Give that a quick clean with nets. Should be quite pretty. Now, I deliberately did not paint the tubes on this, so that when you're looking, because of the colour of the wood, when you're looking into the tube, this seems to be like a gold kind of reflection in there or something. And I wouldn't do that with a dark wood. I'd paint the tubes with a dark wood, definitely. Right, and some sanding sealer. And we let that dry. Right. And while that's drying, if you wouldn't mind, I'm my social media manager, teenage daughter, as you know, has been on to me again, but with a different set of instructions. Apparently, there's a thing called a YouTube algorithm, and what it looks for apparently is a thumbs up on videos. So if you wouldn't mind, if you like the videos, or would you just click the thumbs up button? It's only one little click, and it really helps the channel out. Right, so I'll let that dry, and I'll be back then. Right then, now that that's dried off, Yorkshire grit. And if you're ever using Yorkshire grit on a pen, you'll probably see black, but that's not from the pen itself. It'll be from the bushings. It's just something that happens, that the Yorkshire grit's actually polishing the bushings as well. And that's the way we end up after Yorkshire grit. Yes, you can see the gold tint coming through that. Just what I was looking for. Now, I got asked about this next step quite a bit after the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I got asked a lot about this. What's Brasso? I don't know if it's a specifically Irish thing or not. Right, Brasso is a brass metal polish. And from what I can find out about it, like all polishes, it's an abrasive. But it seems to abrade down to about 6,000 grit, from what I can find out. So not a lot of information about it that I can find. You basically just stick it on, leave it dry for a few seconds, and then work it. It does a very, very good job on resin. It really makes it pop. And the thing is, when I do Brasso, I put no other finish on it, because Brasso is quite hard wearing. And it puts an absolutely lovely finish on resin. Right, now we get down to the main point of this video, which is to test this pen press set that Seth sent me. So I'll set up for that and be back in a sec. Right now, this is the way the pen press kit comes. And it's a Morse 2 typer, which basically slips in there and slips in there. Now this part pops in and out. This, according to the instructions on it, is for putting in the twist mechanism on a slimline. Right, but I don't have a twist mechanism, so I'm just going to go with the straight pen press part. Right, now I have the pieces here. Pick which is the top and which is the bottom. That way. Okay, right, so put the tip in first. Right, now let's have a test of this thing. It should be better than my homemade one. It should be a lot better than my homemade one, actually. And the center ring, put it in. It crushes. Right, look there, I have a few spare parts for these kits. Right, you can see there what it's done. It's actually crushed. It's probably because of there's a chamfer in this as a guide for pen nibs. You can see there what that's done. It's actually crushed the tip of that. As I said, luckily I have some spare parts. Right. Now, what would happen if I did that? I think that's still going to damage it. So what I'll do is I'll turn it the other way around this time. See if that works. Yeah, that works. Okay, if you're using one of these, with this kind of pen kit, don't do what I just did. Put the nib, put it in the wrong way around. Right. Put the next bit in. See how that works. Fine. Put the nib in. Oh, that's very centralized. Yes, that's good. Like that. Sorry, I'm being fiddly tonight, but as I said, my hands are not the best today. Oh God, my hands really are bad today. It's not quite in all the way. Now it is. Right. Unscrew that. These two pieces together. Screw end in first. Have to push up. Spring on, fat end, skinny end. Skinny end on first. Got something there stopping it. Got skinny end on first. Put the cap on. End that off. I just dropped the second spring. Now, where did that go? Right, got another one out of the spare box. Now, get in there, you. Right. Screw that down. And there we go. One slim line, click, with purple resin and Bethlehem Olive wood. Right, now this, it's very solid. It's very, very dry. So I'd say it'd be brilliant for if you did modified pans, slim lines. You've just got to watch for that. If you've got this kind of ring in it, don't put the ring into this end because it will crush it. Right, well, hope you enjoyed that one. And as I said earlier, the social media manager has been on to me. If you wouldn't mind clicking like down below, it would be great. And I'll see you in the next one.